Hi everyone, my name is Rebekah Moore Schultz, and this presentation is Music Education in Nagaland, India, Patkai Christian College, and the Margaret Shishak School of Music. This research is a combination of firsthand knowledge, personal experience, interviews, and a collection of bulletins and other articles that I got from the school. Music education has been a part of the Western world school curriculum for more than 10 centuries. In other countries, such as Japan, music education has been a part of school curriculum for more than 100 years. In Nagaland, India, music was first recognized as a school course only 30 years ago in 1991. While some research has been published regarding music education in Nagaland, the majority of it focuses on mainland India. Mainland India and Northeast India are vastly different in food, language, appearance, and culture. Research published about music education in India is only concerning mainland India and not the Northeast. This will hopefully be a step forward for more research to be done regarding music education in Northeast India. The picture on the screen is a map of India, and you can see the northeast side, and Nagaland is pointed to. It's bordered by Myanmar and several other states. There are 7 states that comprise Northeast India. Nagaland is a rural state comprised of about 2 million people. The majority of the state is very mountainous, and many people live in villages. It's just a clip to give you a picture of some of the scenery of Nagaland. People from Nagaland love music and have specific songs for every occasion. If you were to walk around the campus in the evenings, you would just hear students gathered together singing. During the 19th century, Western missionaries began going to Asia, eventually reaching Nagaland. In the late 1800s, American missionaries began paving the way for Western education among Naga people. The Nagas had songs for every type of daily activity. Therefore, Christian missionaries found it easy to engage them using music. In the early 1900s, Nagas began learning Christian hymns and how to read and write in English. They even had some exposure to the piano when missionaries brought some over from Europe. Unfortunately, conflict within the state forced the missionaries out, leaving a 20-year gap before Western music would come back to Nagaland. Tuisum Shishak married Margaret Shishak in August of 1970. Tuisum is a native of Northeast India, and he met Margaret while he was studying in the United States. Margaret knew he had a dream of opening a college in Northeast India, and in 1973 they moved back. Prior to this, Margaret completed bachelor's and master's degrees in organ performance from the University of Michigan. Patkai Christian College was founded in 1974 in Nagaland, India. The college is situated on 1,000 acres of land that was donated by 2 Angami Naga villages. Soon after the college was founded, Margaret started a choir, a men's ensemble, and began giving piano lessons at her home. The Shishaks were able to bring 1 piano with them when they moved to Nagaland. That piano is what the students had lessons on and practiced on until the college was able to acquire more pianos. For several years in the late 70s and 80s, the music department conducted a short music course. This was a month-long course for outside musicians, not those enrolled at Patkai. In 1975, Patkai's choir presented their first Christmas concert, a tradition which continues to this day. Patkai also established a school for students from first grade to high school. Students are able to attend locally or come from further away and live in the dorms. At Patkai's beginning, living conditions in Nagaland were still quite primitive. That had been known to scare away a few prospective students and lecturers. In fact, people often made fun of Patkai in the beginning, referring to it as the Jungle College. The pictures are a bit blurry, but the one on the right is Margaret and Tuisum in front of their first home. You can see it's bamboo walls and roof, and on the left side is a classroom from 1975. It has 1 blackboard and tables and chairs, but it has bamboo walls around it. In 1973, the central government in Delhi established the Northeastern Hill University with the goal of meeting the needs of people in Northeast India. When Patkai felt ready to make music part of the curriculum, Tuisum was on the University Academic Council and made the push for music education. With two people backing his demands, Tuisum was entrusted with the task of preparing the curriculum for pre-university, which is grade 11 and 12, Western church music. Tuisum in turn entrusted Margaret with the task, and she began preparing course contents and consulting with music professors in the United States. In 1988, the music course was approved on the condition that it would be a vocational degree, not part of the arts course. In 1991, music was finally introduced as a vocational course at the pre-university level. Patkai was the first to introduce a pre-university course in music. In the early years, Margaret single-handedly spearheaded the music department. However, she finally received help as Dr. Vivi Pessier began teaching in the music department in 1991. The music course consisted of music fundamentals, music theory, music appreciation, and church music. In 1993, Ren Tungo Mary joined the music department. Ren began teaching guitar ensemble and private lessons. These were not part of the music course, but instead an extra curriculum option. 7 years later, in 1998, music was no longer a vocational course, but instead an academic subject at the pre-university level. In 1999, another Nagaland native, Kukaho Chishi, joined the music faculty. He earned his bachelor's and master's degree from the Asian Institute for Liturgy and Music in Manila, Philippines. Finding qualified music teachers to teach at Patkai was and still is challenging. In the early years, the government of India would not allow foreigners to teach at Patkai. Since the Northeast Indian schools did not offer a music degree until Patkai, the only option was to train musicians and send some of its graduates overseas to study. Kukaho Chishi can be seen in this photo singing with the Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary chorus, where he is pursuing his PhD. He grew up in Nagaland in the 1970s and 80s and never had any music classes in school. When I was speaking to him, I was curious to know if he never had any music classes, what led him to pursue music as a career. He said his start in music began by listening to bands such as the Beatles, Europe, Santana, and playing guitar alongside their records. It was at the end of his high school career that he started a worship band and devoted himself to music ministry. In order to receive formal music training, he first went to Bangalore, India, and then Manila, Philippines. Ren Tungo also grew up in Nagaland at a time when there were no music classes in school. In fact, there was not a single school or university offering a music course during his time in school. There were just scattered individuals who studied musical instruments and were teaching private students. Despite not having any music classes, Kukaho and Ren still went on to pursue doctoral degrees in music. They grew up in a culture full of songs and music making, singing at church, homes, weddings, funerals, and any public event. Ren initially taught himself how to play the guitar. He later met a traveling evangelist who introduced him to Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, where he received his first formal music education. Ren, as well as many others, appreciate the impact Western music education has had on their lives. And this is a quote from Ren. The tonal nature of Naga dialects was sort of a preparatory foundation for the arrival of an adaptation to a music system that was completely foreign to our ears. The Western tonal system was a welcome change to the monotony of repetitive chants. It completely changed the way we engage in music making. The Western tonal system enriched our musical culture. In 2006, Patkai began offering music as an elective in the college Bachelor of Arts program. Students pursuing this program were required to take an entrance exam in music theory. This music elective did not require a concentration in any instrument. However, students were able to take private lessons in piano, guitar, voice, or violin if the teachers had time. In 2008, Patkai had a groundbreaking ceremony for the Margaret Shishak School of Music building. This was inspired by a $70,000 donation from a couple in the United States and would be built in recognition of Margaret Shishak's contribution to Western classical music and church music in Nagaland. A local magazine stated, Margaret Shishak introduced Naga people to varied styles of church music and rekindled the embers of Western classical music left behind by the early missionaries. She has fine-tuned the musical gifts of her students and mentored them, many of who have gone far across the globe. In 2011, Zingran Shishak, Margaret and Tuisam's youngest son, and his wife Louise moved to Nagaland to aid in the development of the music program. And they can all be seen here, Zingran and Louise and their 2 boys. In 2012, the University Grants Commission funded a career-oriented certificate in music. The Margaret Shishak School of Music was officially founded, and with it came the start of the Bachelor of Music program at Patkai Christian College. The new program ended the former Bachelor of Arts with Music as an elective, which earlier students were able to pursue. The Bachelor of Music degree began with 29 students, and this is a picture of the building still in progress. You have Dr. Vivi on the left, and this is the first 29 students to enter the Bachelor of Music program. The students were required to take a theory test and audition on their applied instruments. Along with the new degree, a $55,000 donation was given to the school for pianos. The Bachelor of Music degree allowed students the option to study piano, guitar, voice, or violin as an applied subject. Ensembles such as guitar, string, recorder, and hand chime also began at this time. Dr. Vivi Pessier was appointed and still is the Dean of the Margaret Shishak School of Music. In an interview, Dr. Vivi stated, Patkai trailblazed the way for formal education in the region by designing the curriculum first for higher secondary level, followed by the undergraduate program. She goes on to say that aspirations are even there for a master's level music education program, as the need for it is felt more lately. Currently, all master's degree holders have trained from abroad, but not all musicians can go abroad. However, several things will have to be in place first before that could happen. The Bachelor of Music program is a 3 or optional 4-year degree. The 4th year is considered the Bachelor of Music degree with honors, in which students use that final year to further pursue the path of an applied instrument, conducting, or church music. In 2017, 14 students graduated with a 3-year degree, Bachelor of Music, and in 2018, 15 others from the first batch completed the Bachelor of Music with honors degree. Since the Bachelor of Music program began in 2014, 95 students have graduated from the Margaret Shishak School of Music at Patkai Christian College. In 2015, Patkai was able to invite 2 music faculty to join from overseas, which would spur more faculty members coming from abroad. Many of Patkai's graduates, since even before the Bachelor of Music degree was established, have done very well. Several have pursued and are currently pursuing further studies in the United States, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and the Philippines. Manroni Lota is one of those graduates. Manroni completed her Bachelor of Arts degree from Patkai. She then went on to Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth, Texas, to complete her Master of Music in Church Music degree with an emphasis in choral conducting. In July of 2017, Manroni moved back to Nagaland and began her role as Assistant Professor of Music at Patkai. And here she's seen in the center with the MSSM Singers Ensemble. Manroni began piano when she was just 8 or 9 years old, learning from her cousin, but it wasn't until 8th grade that she was able to enroll in a music studio. During her teenage years, she was introduced to choral music at her home church. However, it was not until Manroni joined Patkai in 11th grade that she began taking music as a class. She stated that even though she always enjoyed learning music, she wasn't aware of the possibilities of doing it professionally. Patkai introduced her to the world of music education. The Shishaks pushed for music education at Patkai when people still thought of music as a hobby rather than an academic subject. Pat Kai was the first school to have music classes and paved the way for Western music education in the northeast region of India. Pat Kai has since influenced the start of other music schools and colleges throughout Nagaland and northeast India. There are currently 2 other colleges in Nagaland offering music degrees: Nagaland Conservatory of Music and Nagaland College of Music and Fine Arts. The visionary idea of Margaret Shishak and Dr. Tuisam Shishak paved the way for the study of Western classical music not only in Nagaland but in northeast India. Before Pat Kai, most of the musicians in Nagaland and all of northeast India were self-taught or learned music in church. The Nagaland Board of School Education has recently introduced music as a subject in the high school and higher secondary curriculum, aiming to make music accessible to all. Elementary school to 8th grade now includes music in the prescribed curriculum as set by the State Council for Educational Research and Training. However, these classes are very general, consisting mainly of singing songs and nursery rhymes. Nagaland has also since created a task force for music and arts, which encourages musicians to take up music as a profession rather than a hobby. However, there is still no standard music curriculum in place for schools and universities. Nagaland and all of northeast India could greatly benefit from having better music education in primary schools. Educators like Monroney are still trying to create an awareness and educate the masses in northeast India about music education. The concept of music education is still very narrow, and there is little appreciation and understanding of quality music. According to Monroney, the Naga people need to be made aware that studying music is more than just playing instruments. Pat Kai has seen many students audition for the music program, and many of whom have no idea what coursework goes along with a music degree, such as theory and music history. Conducting as a profession is also a very new concept to the Naga people. This is an updated picture of the Margaret Shishak School of Music building. It's still not fully completed. While the Bachelor of Music degree was and still is a huge success for Pat Kai, they continue to face many challenges. The performance hall needs to be completed, and things such as a ramp for access to the building and an elevator for access to all floors needs to be installed. Pat Kai does plan to offer a master's degree once they obtain the resources and the faculty. Limited teachers are available to teach music at colleges, and even fewer are available to teach at the pre-college level. There is a major lack of basic resources every music school needs, such as textbooks and instruments. This is a picture of the library, and you can see they do have some books here, but on this side there's a lot more empty shelves than books. Textbooks had to be brought from overseas, and many of the instruments have had to be brought that way as well. While Nagaland has more instruments and books available than they did 10 years ago, it's still not comparable to the Western world. Today there are numerous music shops and local music schools training children in piano and voice, among other instruments. This shows much progress. Despite the ongoing challenges, Pat Kai continues to lead Western music education in Nagaland and in the entire Northeast region. Here is a picture of their string ensemble. While you can get strings and the guitar ensemble, woodwind instruments are more unheard of in Nagaland. There's no brass instruments, woodwind. They do have recorder ensemble. This is one of the classroom settings. This is the piano lab. And you see some of them have to share keyboards even because there aren't enough for the whole class. And this is an aerial view of the campus. There are really some great musicians in Nagaland. They just need more resources. They need some recognition. And sometimes they might just need some help. If you would like to know more about Nagaland or ways you could help them or just do some more research in that area, please find me on the member directory at MMTA. Send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks everyone for listening.